Good morning. Time almost got away from me this morning. I wasn't looking for a few minutes and all of a sudden 444 snuck up on me. Anyway, the title for today is The World Waits for the Big Event. And I wish I could tell you what it is. As I talked with a friend yesterday evening, I said, they are not making it easy. And I mean both the dark side and the light side. She replied, they are us. Indeed, we have co-created a really challenging situation. To me, the only way out is to love more, transcending the judgments and separation we have felt for so long. Like so many platitudes, it's easier said than done, especially when all our shadow elements seem to surface one way or another. It seems to me that many on the conscious level, if not all of us on a subconscious level, are waiting for the big event that will finally turn the tide in favor of peace on earth and put an end to all the craziness. Yes, around the world, people are waking up faster than ever before. It's unstoppable. It can't be reversed. There's no matter what the would-be world controllers do, it's going to backfire because you can't do conspiracies in the light. You can only really do them in the dark. And the conspiracies have been revealed for all that are willing to see. There's still a lot of people that aren't willing to see, but many, many, many people get it. And this is happening all over the world. Someone wrote, why aren't people standing up in the US like they are in England at the Bilderbergers thing? Why aren't they standing up like they are in various other places in Turkey and other places in the world? Europe and the Middle East especially seem to be taking a strong stand. Why doesn't the US, why don't the people in the US stand up and stop it? Because where the US goes, the whole world will go. We are the kingpin, if you will, that has to get knocked down in order for the big event to occur. I mean, we've got to stop Obama. We've got to stop the people behind Obama. It's happening, but it seems to be happening so slowly and so painfully for so many people that it staggers the imagination sometimes. I know for myself, when I have hope that something wonderful, something good is going to happen, my energy feels so much better to me. And then when it doesn't happen as I expected, which has happened so many times in my life, I get easily knocked down, easily discouraged. Not that the discouragement takes over and puts me into a state of depression. That doesn't happen anymore. I can't even hardly put into words the space that I feel. I mean, I feel people say it's gotta be love or fear. You can't be in both love and fear at the same time. Well, as I've said other times, and as I'm saying again now, that simply is not my experience. The more awake I have become, the more I realize that I hold all of the emotions in me at all times. I have the fear in me. I have the anger in me. But I also have the love in me. I also have the joy in me. I also can find a place of peace in me and observe that in me, both the manifest me and the eternal me, I can feel, I can tap into those energies. Now, maybe everybody can't do that. So for the unawakened person, maybe it's true. If you're in fear, you're not going to feel love. But the more, for myself, the more awake I become, the more I make it a point to center myself by meditation and by prayer. And sometimes just just sitting quietly, I can feel and observe emotions moving in me, through me, upon me, around me. However you want to say it, I can feel all of the emotions. But I still, in my life, for my personal life and for the collective life as a human being, I'm looking for that big event. In my personal life, it was the reunion with my twin flame. I believe that could be the lady in Canada. I don't know. We haven't met yet, and our meeting is delayed for who knows how long. I don't know how long. She doesn't know how long. She's not willing to make another trip to the border and attempt the crossing. That's her choice. That's her choice. For myself, in my personal life, I've said, okay, God, you know my desires, you know what I want, you know you know what my heart needs, and I don't know how to make it happen. So whatever is supposed to happen, let it happen in the proper timing and in the proper way, because I don't know when and I don't know how. And I don't even know what for sure it's going to look like in my personal life. But neither do I know what it's going to look like in the collective life of humanity. And that is the part that's really, really important, because none of our personal lives, in my opinion, can really be in order as long as the world is a mess and we're still here. And if we're still here, our work isn't done. Our issues are still here because our issues are shared with the rest of humanity. They are us. The light is us. The dark is us. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. We contain the whole thing. It is a holographic universe, as we've been told again and again. And it's an illusion in the respect of there's nothing really solid, that even what appears solid is mostly empty space. We've been told that again and again. But it's not an illusion in the respect of it's just an experience, or just it's an illusion, it's an experience, and it doesn't really matter because it's not real. It is real. Experience is always real. And to be able to be in the place of love that embraces even the fear, even the so-called negative emotions that we have labeled negative and tried to get away from. They keep coming up. They keep being triggered by events in our world and in our lives. They keep being triggered. All the dark things, all the underworld is coming to the surface to be looked at in a way that probably has never happened before, certainly not for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. But it's happening now in 2013, in 2011, 2012, 2013. It's happening in our world today as more and more people come on board and open our hearts and open our minds and open our eyes and ears to what's going on in the big picture. And we're being able to see more and more of what the big picture is, but we don't know what that big event is going to be that's going to finally shift the tide and make these criminal, pathological leaders step down from the game and say, okay, the game is really over. We throw up the white flag. We throw in the towel. We quit. The people win. And we are part of the people. I don't know what it's going to take for that big event, but it has to happen on the geopolitical level. Just as it's happening spiritually with us on the metaphysical level, or the ethereal, in the ethereal realm. That's an important part of it. That's an important part. But until it happens in the geopolitical realm, it hasn't happened. There cannot be peace on earth with the game continuing as it's always been, with the same people, with the same perverted ideologies and goals as they've always been, which is world domination. You can't have that. People cannot dominate each other. We have to cooperate with each other. That's what I mean when it says the only way is to love more. and you can't love and compete. Well, even that's not true, you see, because in sports, people can compete and still have the compassion and the love. But it's different. It's different than what we've experienced for the most part in our lives. And this is where we are. We're learning to see the bigger picture and connect more of the dots within ourselves, and to connect the emotions and to allow the emotions to flow. It's so important that more and more people do this. It's so important that we stop attacking each other. Yes, we all have faults. I can see faults in me. And so I can certainly see them in other people, what I perceive as faults, but we don't know what the other person's lessons are. We don't know what they're here to accomplish. We don't know what the role is that they're playing. So I encourage you not to hold strong judgments about anybody. Granted, we are all doing the best we can. And yes, it frustrates us sometimes. It frustrates me oftentimes that people, if they would only see what I see, if they would only take a stand like I'm willing to take a stand, it would make taking a stand for me so much easier. But everybody seems to be doing their own thing and following the beat of their own drummer. And it's confusing, and it's exasperating, and it's the anticipation. We've lived on the edge of anticipation for so long, waiting for Nasara, waiting for the disclosure of the extraterrestrial family, and they get it. Oh, I sense that they are so eager to step in and to help us at whatever critical point we've reached the place of being able to receive that help. I don't know if that's the way it's going to come. I don't know what's going to be, but there's got to be a big event that brings down the house of cards, and finally it becomes common knowledge that the game is over, that the gig is up, that we finally crossed the threshold into making the big changes that will bring peace on earth and create together a world that works for all of us, not just some of us at the expense of the rest. That will not work. That's not sustainable. We know that. We see that. Those of us that have even a smidgen of ability to perceive what's going on our planet, we know that. And more people are realizing that that is true. And more people are listening to those of us that they've considered crazy in the past. This is where we are on June 11th, 2013. This is where we are today, waiting for the big event. Send love to yourself and to those that are most difficult to love. Send them love. Help us get through this thing and co-create together the game-changing event that will make our world a better place. Thank you for listening. Namaste.